I have a question for you. I heard you speak this morning to the moment where you want to be vulnerable, or not just, yes, vulnerable, but the moment of humility in order to really get your message across and to make that connection with your audience. Can you speak to that?
Sure. What happens with a lot of speakers is and I went through this, you stand up in front of an audience and you feel you have to be more than yourself. You have to be something bigger. You have to be important to stand in front of the audience. And we have a tendency to talk down to the audience when we do that. Let me tell you, like I'm the boss, you're not. And I don't know about you, I don't like being spoken to that way. And one of the things I try to apply in life as well as speaking is the golden rule, which is treat people like I want to be treated. And what I realized, the best speakers, when I watched them, were just being themselves talking to the audience. And it wasn't like they were saying, I'm the smartest person, I'm the best, I've been through tougher things than anybody else. They were just sharing a story. They weren't telling the audience, they were sharing with the audience. And that's the difference. Whenever I look at an audience, I know that there are people in that audience that are smarter than I am, which is no big deal, okay? So don't think that's a big deal. But anyway, smarter than I am, have more experience, or have been through tougher situations than I've been. So to me, to stand in front of an audience and act like I am the best person in the room is really demeaning to the audience. And so that's where the humility comes in, is be humble, be appreciative of the fact that people are willing to listen to you, because if you're the most important person in the room, you need to go talk to yourself.
A little bit of a track. I lost the International Speech Contest for 9 years at my club. What is funny about that? I don't mind funny about that. I went to district 4 times. I went to region 3 times. And to be honest, this journey I took was really not a journey of learning how to speak. It was a journey of self-discovery. It was a journey of figuring out what my worth was to the world. And when I started, I didn't feel that I had a lot of worth to the world. Through this process, I discovered not a message. I discovered thousands of messages.
And I have a question. At what moment, Lance, did you realize that you were able to make that jump from the very academic or the technical speech to speaking from the heart? And I assume that's the moment that your career took off. I don't know. Can you speak to that?
Well, it was gradual on a number of things. It was a little bit like, as I say, peeling an onion. I kept thinking I got the layer off and there was another layer under it. And the first time I did that was when I kept losing at the club contest, and I was going to a club contest in my 9th year, and I decided I wasn't going to use that speech. I was going to lose the contest anyway. I'd talk about something I wanted to talk about, and I just talked about something I wanted to talk about and won the contest. So I started to realize that I had to really be connected to my speeches. But the real defining moment for me came in my preparation for the international speech. I had 3 messages in my speech. I was having a hard time getting it to gel. And I was going, what is it I want to say? And I remember where I was driving down a street in Los Angeles, and I just started pounding my steering wheel. I was in the car by myself, and I said, what I want to say is if we would just quit finding what's wrong with people and find what's right, we'd solve all the problems in the world. And that's when I hit what I really wanted to say. And I had to tell you, it was scary. It was really scary to stand on stage and say what I really felt in my heart, because what's happened to me, and I think it happens to most people, is through our lives, we say something and we're told that we're stupid or ridiculous. Communication is rejected in some way. And when that happens, we become less desirous to communicate, especially communicate anything close to our heart. We have all sorts of situations, of course, in school of falling in love with the girl across the aisle and trying to tell her, and she's nervous and she laughs or something, and then your heart's hurt or something. All these things happen. You say things and people laugh at you, so we have a tendency to sort of hold that in. To come back out and find what I call my core center to communicate from, which is it's like that was where I lived. And once I got there, I was able to communicate from that point on, from that location, but I had to get there. And it was the contest that got me there.
Thank you very much, Lance. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance.